Well, there are a lot of journeys in life, and this particular journey with Western Roots Outdoors started about 3 years ago when I decided I wanted to start filming hunts. And it was kind of at that time when I first decided, it was like, this is what I want to do, and I got a camera and started filming different things. And I've hunted all my life, so I've probably hunted for more than 40 years. And then you throw a camera in the mix or trying to film it, it changes everything. So, but for me, the only thing I'm learning is now is carrying a camera and filming when I do the filming. But when I'm hunting, Amanda has volunteered to carry the camera for archery elk season, which is our biggest hunt, the one that I really love to go on and really want to get the good footage and want to have the camera there. And so I grew up hunting. Amanda did not, and she's never taken any photography classes, so it's kind of like she just jumped into the fire with it.
Yep, both feet.
Yep, both feet into the fire. And so the last 3 years she's been running the camera during our archery hunts. And she's getting pretty good at it. She's got a really steep learning curve.
Yeah, it's been a challenge, a big challenge. But with that being said, I mean, coming from not having the experience or growing up with that, before I jumped in, I was at home with our kids, and now that we have one at home, and thankfully with my mom's help, Grandma has come in to take time to be with Bailey so that we can go out and do this together. And I honestly thought, oh, I'm just gonna, I love to hike, I'm gonna take a camera, this will be a piece of cake, no big deal. This isn't my cell phone. This is a pretty high-tech piece of equipment. There's also weight. You add weight onto my backpack, and the frustration when an animal comes in, when an animal doesn't come in. So
the focus.
I mean, I think last year I wanted to throw the camera how many times?
A couple times. Every year.
Yeah, because it's like you can get set on the animal, and then all of a sudden it like gets super blurry, and then I can't see, and I'm afraid I'm going to miss that shot. And it's not like you can go, time out, let's redo that. You get one chance, one time, and I am a perfectionist, and I want to make it good. I want the footage to be good for him. I want it to be good for myself. It's like an achievement, really. But
yeah.
It's a team effort, so we want to succeed in that. And
so Amanda's journey has a couple learning curves. Learning how to run the camera and catch that. But also, here she is, now she's out elk hunting, basically, and she's never hunted before in her life. So, and everybody that's hunted for a long time knows that you learn different things every year, but you have to learn like when you can move, when the animals are looking at you, and and sometimes we move and scare them anyway. Even now, after hunting for 40 years, I still do that. But these are things Amanda hasn't grown up doing, and the last 3 years she's having to learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of feet in the fire.
And doing it while married.
Yeah.
So.
And staying married.
Yeah. But I've actually had a lot of fun. It's really been cool to see your passion come to life. He always talked about how much he loved it, but I think being there to actually see it is a whole nother experience. And I've told him since I've been out there, I'm like, it's frustrating when you don't bring home that meat. You don't have a successful harvest. That frustration is there. I feel it because it's like miles and your body is just fatigued.
You work hard,
but that experience itself is like nothing I've ever encountered before. So I get why you go out there and do what you do, even if it's not a successful hunt, because you're doing it for the experience and the time together with friends and family.
Yeah.
And I've met some awesome people through this, and it's been kind of a cool experience for me. I hope you don't get rid of me anytime soon, because I'm really having fun doing this.
No, we're
And
gonna keep doing it.
I think each year will get better. I am determined next year to be more confident with the camera and then actually moving. This year, you'll see for yourself. It was a challenge to know when to move. Am I going to spook the animal?
Yeah. I think that's always going to be a challenge. You just start trying to learn a little more about it, but we're going to keep doing it though.
We are. It's not going to stop.
So this journey is going to go on. So join us on the journey.
Yeah.
When I first cow called.
Yeah, he was on a run.
Running.
Outdoors, another great adventure.
All right, this is day one. We were going to hunt over here this morning, but before daylight, a couple guys pulled up in this truck, or we're assuming a couple guys, and we are hunting areas that are surrounded by private. There's state land, there's private. So a lot of this ridge around us is private, and we talked to the owner last night. He was a nice guy, really nice guy, but definitely don't want to cross onto his land. But these guys got here this morning, so we've been getting stuff arranged and ready, and unfortunately,
The old summertime fall cold. But
yeah,
life's good. We got some good mountain air. It's not too smoky today.
get some vitamin D from the sun. It's going to be a nice day.
Looking forward to spending the next 8 days up in God's country here in eastern Idaho.
Yeah, top secret stuff. We can't share that with you, but
Yeah.
we will tell you this. There's a lot of people up here, and everywhere we've looked to go, there's been people, but Anna and I hunted this last year. We're going to go see if we can find a place to put a camera. We've gone about 50 yards and realized there's a lot of grasshoppers, and our camera woman does not like grasshoppers.
Nope, I do not.
So I think we're just have to go back and road hunt. There's one camera set up. We know they'll come down right here quite a bit. We've seen them before, and there's a lot of tracks right here. So we would see what happens. Evening of day one. And the guys were hunting back here this morning, but we hung around camp for a little bit. Now we're gonna work back in here and call. They've been in here.
So, how old was the bear poop?
Oh, it's fresh.
Oh,
fresh. Yeah, there was a big 3 piles of it back there. Where he's bedded down too. And there's a bear bait right there. Huh. Alright, day 2. You can see we got a full moon. So that's definitely affecting things. Still haven't really heard a bugle.
I don't know, but it's like the worst when you get your hair caught in a ponytail or like and you can't get it out.
You're trying to go through the barbed wire fence, you get your hair caught. So I was telling Amanda, these big old leaves like this is, pretty sure this is called a salmonberry. I'm not an expert, but this is what I've been told. And so there are little berries, they're like little raspberries on these. And I've eaten them before, so I know they're edible. But this is also, from what I've been told, I never tried it, nature's toilet paper. I don't know. Better than a pine cone. Better than a rock or a stick.
Oh, ouch. We finally made it to the top.
Alright, well, this morning on day 2, and I guess we just saw a moose, but haven't really heard anything that sounds like a bugle yet. So okay, we got a full moon, and it's getting pretty hot today. It was hot yesterday afternoon, but it's been down to 28 at night.
Yeah, cold.
So we were told, or we've heard, that if it's a full moon, you might have a little more activity like mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
So, has anybody else heard that? If you've heard anything about that, leave a comment below. Apparently that came from an elk biologist. If you're hunting full moon, try mid-afternoon, because they bed down like before the sun comes up, and then they'll get up. Look at that little hummingbird. Look at that.
Pretty green.
Yeah, so we're gonna go back to camp now. It's still, I don't know, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock. We're gonna go back, get some breakfast. He's like right here. He's coming to see you. Oh, he went in front of the camera. Anyway, and then I think we're gonna try hunting earlier in the afternoon and see what happens. We got a spot we want to check out. This morning I was bugling, the cows were answering. Today I called them in, whole herd.
Day 3, good morning.
I'm back.
Alright, we're gonna head over to top secret spot. With any luck, we will get close to our first elk today. 2 full days of hunting yesterday, and the day before, nothing. And so today we're really hoping. Sun's just coming up. We're gonna work our way over to these quakies and see if we can find something here. That's a person.
Seriously?
Yeah. No, but I know where they're at up here.
Person.
I'm betting, yeah. It was like, call it Doug Flutie. Born and raised. The bugler. Okay, guys. I think we had 3 bugles this morning, right?
Yeah.
3 total. Spaced out. I mean, we circled downwind and came in because I wasn't sure if it was a hunter or an elk, so we moved around downwind and set up in here. And it sounded like he was raking his horns right up here, so we called for a while and waited, and then something behind us started moving around and scared some grouse out. But we waited and nothing happened. But that was our first encounter of the trip.
It's a beautiful morning.
Yeah, it is nice out here. So, we're gonna keep going, see what happens. We're still fairly early, but Bob pulls out these paydays for a little snacking.
Really good protein. Out here archery hunting with my son-in-law and daughter. Western Roots Outdoors. Payday's the perfect protein energy snack bar.
Western Roots. We're not sponsored,
But
it would sure be nice. I took a bite.
let's try it. Oh, yeah.
I took a bite.
Solid.
I'll do it like that.
I said, this is an original Payday from
No,
1985.
they've been outdoors in 30-degree weather. They're a little firm, but they're still delicious.
Oh my god. Sucker about broke my tooth. Good though.
We were sitting here talking, and
Getting ready to pack up and leave, and we just heard something come running down these trees. But it's not come out yet. We're not sure what it is.
It was a deer. You saw it right here, but then we just bumped him again. They were standing up here in the sun. I went when the sun jetted on it. It was almost elk color. I was like,
Got the heart pumping just for a second or two.
good stuff. It's fun to see animals anyway. It's fun to get this close.
It's great to be outdoors.
Well, we had a bull bugle this morning, working on it, and then we come across a really fresh blood trail. So we had a really weird morning. We went in to hunt over there, and we ended up coming across a really fresh blood trail, like a lot of blood. And we kind of debated on what to do. We got looking at it, and there was somebody's tracks following it. So we followed it a little bit and found the tracks that somebody was following it. So they shot a 6-point bull right over in front of us right before we got there. So I don't know if the bugles we were hearing this morning were actually elk or what, but anyway, we cut away from there, went upwind of it, and tried to hunt, and we ended up coming across the blood trail again. And so we followed it again, and there was still tracks following it, and then we just followed it for a little bit and didn't ever find them. So we were coming out and come across 3 guys. One guy had a crossbow, older guy, and then 2 younger guys. They said they'd shot a 6-point bull that morning and couldn't find him. So basically our hunt this morning was just a walk, because they were all over in there chasing that elk after they shot it this morning. And so it turns out I don't think we actually did hear a bugle. I don't know if we've heard one yet. Amanda and I are going to go in and check this one trail camera. So the night we put the camera in, there were 5 elk in here at 7 o'clock, 7:30 at night till like 10:30. They were all right here. And then last night, I saw another, I think 2 more elk came in last night right here. But it was at dark. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe in the video we'll stick some pictures in here right now.
Wow, I am shaking so bad. Well, that was exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm so glad we tried something new tonight.
Yeah, you gotta just try stuff. It's been really hot today, so we were gonna try to sit on a water hole, but we went and checked the camera. There's a ton of elk going in there. It's a warning mark. Dang it. They think I'm a lost cat. They're trying to get it to go over there, I think. They're trying to warn it, I think.
That's crazy. I've never heard that noise before.
I'm wondering if there was one of them was a bull behind them.
That could have been the one that I saw take off running, but I couldn't tell.
Morning of day 4.
Day 4. We're gonna try a different spot that we've never hunted before.
I'm looking for Cincinnati, Ohio. Is that around here anywhere?
You took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. We're early this morning. We're gonna bugle in the dark a little bit, see if we can pick up a bugle. Cross our fingers. We have not heard one yet. That not officially. A couple like, ooh, maybe, but no. We need a full on. That's a bull.
Yep.
Let's go back to camp.
feel like I'm having deja vu.
Deja vu. We've seen this before.
Oh, that's right.
Deja vu.
We were here last night.
We were, huh? Oh, yeah.
Our real good feeling didn't pan out after all.
Yeah, last night didn't work. We had some deer come in and some come down kind of to the left side of our blinds and spooked them, I guess. But we're going to give this another try tonight.
Oh, that's nice. Helping him out.
That's a scared beaver. There he is.
Oh my God.
There's another one down here chewing on stuff.
I could see the branches up there moving. I was like, what is going on?
As soon as you guys stopped, I knew what was going on.
That was so nice of you to help that beaver, Dad.
The beaver helper. That's his new name.
Take care of your beaver, it'll take care of you.
There's elk all over up there.
Can you hear that, Dad? Did you hear that? That's so awesome. Yeah, that's so awesome. They didn't come down to where we wanted, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah, but we're definitely hearing them tonight
There's one up in there screaming.
and seeing them. So,
I think there's a big bull back here screaming.
yeah.
And those cows are going to him. And that smaller bull's going to get his butt whipped. In the morning, might you be able to get him to come to you if the wind's right and everything? I don't know.
Well, that's a wrap today.
Yeah. That's a big bull. Oh, that's a big bull.
And we're going to end on that note.
Yeah, there's a big bull. He's just over this. In the bottom up there. Having a little celebration drink because we finally 5 days finally heard the bulls bugling. Had one coming in, but it got too late and we had to sneak out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He
I've
was-
never had to run from an animal
I know,
before.
I've never had to run from an elk either. It just got too dark. We wouldn't have been able to shoot, so we backed out. Hopefully they're there in the morning.
Thursday morning, came back out, and this time there's several bugles. We're setting up in an area where we think one is most likely to come towards us with the wind.
I'm not an expert elk hunter by any means, not even close. But I've been, hunting elk a long time. And every year you go, it seems there's some kind of new challenge, something different. And so we were here, I think 5 days and not a bugle. And we found some elk watering down here almost every night. Put blinds in, set the blinds 2 nights, no elk. Last night we were sitting down here and what do you know, they come off from way back in, down into the creek down below us, right you know, towards evening and start bugling like crazy. So, you know, I don't know what happens, but it's like yesterday afternoon, we had rain all morning yesterday morning, but like yesterday afternoon, the rut just kicked off in here. So we had 4 bulls in here last night. We had one coming in, but it got too dark. It should be on the footage, and we bugged out. We were gonna come in here this morning. We got here this morning, and there were 2 bulls bugling on the other side of the road, and the wind was actually blowing this way. So we decided to use the wind and went after them. But I think, now that I thought about it, all we did was chase them all the way to their bedding area and, you know, followed them. We didn't chase them, we followed them. But so, you know, first problem we have is we don't know, there's nothing bugling, so we don't know what to do. And the next problem we have is they're bugling everywhere. And then you gotta figure out the wind and what they're doing. And so we're gonna go back in here because the wind again is coming this way. We were gonna go over there, but the wind is drifting that way. So we're gonna go up here and see if we can repeat last night with a little more success.
Here he comes.
He's right there. He's just walking up. 125 yards, maybe. He only came to that hill right there. He didn't like something. Yeah, what we're gonna do? I could see him through the bushes. Yeah. He was running. I don't know what was wrong with him. He did not like something right here. I thought he was gonna come right here. I was like, you're set up perfect. He was walking. He started barking at us. Yeah, that was cool. I think that would have been a good example to see what the decoy would have done.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing.
Way down here, it would have been all over.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Dad.
It's like I think that's why he was barking at her. It's like,
Yeah. He's like, hey,
Something's not right.
if you want this,
yeah, you come out and show yourself right now. When he gets up in those trees up there, I think we move up there and call maybe. I think they went across. Backside.
Well, we gave it all we got.
Man,
We tried.
it doesn't get much closer than that. That was like, that bull was full commit until he got to 150 yards. And he said, I don't know, I don't really like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
that's funny. It was a big bull.
What an awesome encounter.
Yeah. I just wish he would have gotten closer.
A great memory, right?
Absolutely. I love it.
There's no way he saw
It just
you.
didn't get much better than this, let me tell you. To see that majestic animal fully on a charge coming to Corey's call, he was in love.
I think he might have hit the end of his leash.
Yeah.
That might have been a married bull.
He might have. His wife was back here going, "You get past that point, I'm gonna come down there and put a whooping on you. That's where your leash ends." He's like, "Oh, hi."
I can run to the end of my leash and bark as loud as I want, but that's as far as it goes. That was his attitude.
He's like, "I can't go any further."
All right,
Another day, folks.
over and out. Friday night was unsuccessful.
Quiet all over, huh?
Yeah.
Apparently. Alright. Well, here's the reality for Western Roots. We come out on public land, and this is what it is. There's a lot of people rolling in here tonight. We don't have people call us and tell us where the elk are. We don't have private land to hunt. Everything we do, we try to find it ourselves. Try to find different places to hunt. There's elk here, but we had a close encounter last night right here. But it's tough, really tough, and it's not easy to film, and it's not easy to get the elk to come in, especially when people are hunting all around you and stuff. And yeah, it is what it is. We're just filming it the way it happens.
Did you hear that?
It's Saturday morning. We have been here. Well, today's our 8th day, really. We've had a few close calls. We had a couple bulls in here this morning. Thought maybe we could get them to work, but they do not want to play. We watched a bull and 6 or 7 cows earlier, just down below here. He wasn't making any noise at all. It's weird. They are not in full rut, that's for sure. They started to the other day, and then they just kind of quieted down again. Alright, so we're out tonight with Jared and Tom. We spotted some elk up here. Amanda and I decided to stay another day or so. Bob had to go home and get his boat. But anyway, we're up here with Tom and Jared, and got a herd of elk right above us up here. We saw them, but we haven't heard them yet. We're gonna see if we can work in on them. Come with us.
Here.
I think I hit him right here. I don't think I got a good hit. Gosh dang it. I don't know what happened. I think I got it on him. And he turned perfect. It should have sunk right in here. I don't know. I think I got him in the neck.
I couldn't tell where it went. I just had taken a step.
Past that tree right there, because
Yeah.
he stepped out from behind it.
Yeah.
But I drew once and held for quite a while. And I was
Yeah.
like, dang it, I had to let go.
Well, I had good view of him, and then when he started to step forward, and then I had to take a step this way.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. They were looking right at us. They were like, what is that?
I know.
I'm almost sure I hit him right in the neck. I don't know if he turned when I shot, or if I pulled when I shot my shot.
I am shaking so bad. Wow.
Dang it,
And trying so hard to get,
that bull, did you see the bull come in? There were two calves right here, and I was like, oh, they're just calves. And then all of a sudden I see that bull step up, and I'm like, there's a bull. He was weird. He had like,
yeah.
but I practiced, and shot. I think I just shot him in the damn neck. That is not good.
Fatal shot. No.
I don't know. It depends if I hit his carotid artery or not. I'm almost sure I hit him right here. He kind of disappeared going in, and then I think I saw him. Gosh, damn. I can't believe that.
You did the best you could, babe. You did the best you could.
I got nervous about that tree right there.
I know.
You see in the video I shot that bull last night. Thought I hit him in the neck. And we looked last night until dark, right in that area for the arrow, for blood. Couldn't find anything, went out. And we had checked the weather, it wasn't supposed to rain, but wouldn't you know it, last night it poured rain. Poured rain. And so we came back in here this morning and we ended up finding my arrow. A little tiny bit of blood on it. Some of it could have been probably washed off by the rain, but yeah, not much on there. And so the real reality is that I think I did hit him in the neck, but it didn't. It must have hit bone and then fell out. I mean, it was only 20 yards from where I shot him, and didn't find any blood, not a drop today. We combed back and forth through there, looked all over, and the haunting thing is that I realized as we came up down in here, well, right here is where I shot the bull last year that I couldn't find. We just popped out. We're 150 yards from where I just shot last night. This is where I shot last year. So this place is gonna haunt me forever. Go home, I guess. We've been out here 8 days, 9 days. Spent one extra day. Last night got into some elk. There we are. So I had the opportunity to go back up and hunt by myself for a few days at the end of the season. I got up to the same area on Thursday afternoon, so I was able to hunt Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday morning, and then come home. I packed in about a mile and set up a little camp and hunted. Had some real close encounters and had a great time. Had time to self-reflect and think about, you know, the entire season and the last 2 seasons in reality. I've had the opportunity to take 9 elk with my bow. I have harvested a bear with my bow and several deer. You know, the last 2 years I've had 2 chances at a bull, you know, one each year. One last year, one this year. and I was not able to capitalize. You know, there's all kinds of excuses you can make and things like that, but when I went back up hunting by myself, I had a lot of time to kind of think about things and kind of go over what's going on in my mind and what's going on with the hunts and things like that. And I realized that I've definitely become a little less successful as a hunter since I've started trying to film hunts. You can be a decent hunter or a good hunter, and then when you go to film, it changes everything. I'm telling you right now, it changes the dynamic of the entire hunt. I knew that, I mean, you know that going into it, but you don't realize the depth at which it really affects things. And I know that trying to film hunts the last few years has definitely, you know, had an effect on my success of actually harvesting animals. Frustration that you go through, you know, all these frustrating times and all the ups and downs, and you know, you get good stuff on video and you miss the shots, you know, you're not focused on the camera, you know, there's all these things. Anyway, you start thinking about all this stuff, and there's so much that goes into it, and carrying a camera around and worrying about when I take the shot, is it going to be on film? Is the animal on the camera right now? Is the camera running? Is it focused? Is, you know, I've got to hit this animal. I've got to do this now. I know the camera's running. I've got to make this shot. You know, it puts a lot of pressure on you. We had been hunting for, I think, 8 days when I got a shot at that bull this year. And just, you know, it starts coming down. Oh man, we haven't got any good footage. We haven't called in an elk yet. Haven't had a shot yet. So we're not getting anything on video. This is, you know, bummer. And you're down, and then all of a sudden there's that elk, walks right in, and it's, you know, maybe I rushed it.
Man, I'm literally walking back to camp. Came from that way over there, right over there. And I just hit the edge of that clearing, and there's a bull right here. He walks right across this little opening into that and disappears. If I had been 20 seconds ahead, I'd have been within 30 yards of him probably. Of course, the wind blew right towards him once he stopped.
I also had time to reflect on, you know, shooting when I shot at that elk this year, and I thought, what in the world happened? I don't know. You know, I still don't know. You know, there's so many things that happen so fast, and then you're left going, wait, what happened? But one thing I started thinking about was I did a lot of target shooting this year beforehand, and I did spent a lot of time shooting at little dots on targets, and that was my focus. I was constantly thinking, I gotta hit that dot. I want to hit that dot. I've got to hit that dot. And I shot all the way up to 60 yards with my broadheads, aiming at a dot. But I thought, what was different, you know, this year and last year compared to years in the past? And I've always had a 3D target, and I've done other shooting, like video target shooting at animals. And at that point, you're not shooting at a dot. You're picking a spot on that animal, and it's critical when you shoot an animal with a bow that you pick a spot on that animal. And I don't know if I rushed the shot and didn't do that. Like I said, there's so much that went on. You can't really, you can reflect on it and try to think what happened, but part of me starts thinking, well, when I'm practicing, I need to have a 3D target to practice. You know, I think throwing in the factor of, oh, I want to film hunts and I want to be able to get great footage and put it out so people can see, enjoy the video. I think that just adds a whole nother level to the hunt. You know, you find people that are really good at it, and you think, wow, I gotta watch this, see how they do this, see how this works. You know, I've watched Born and Raised, Hushin', you know, Meat Eater, all these things, and you try to learn from all that stuff, but definitely adds another layer to the hunt, especially if you don't have somebody dedicated to the camera, which my wife Amanda has been dedicated to the camera for archery, but it still adds something more on your shoulders, another weight there that, you know, oh, it's on camera, make the shot, you know, all these things that go through your head. you get an excitement, you know, oh, there's finally got an elk coming in, and I'm gonna be able to get this shot on video, everything's set up perfectly, and then, you know, it goes south. But I just kind of wanted to talk about that and put it out there that, you know, filming hunts and trying to hunt with someone filming you, either way, neither one of them are easy. It's a dedication, and it's tough. You know, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people saying, well, that's 2 elk in 2 years, and I feel that way myself, trust me. I'm like, well, maybe I should hang my bow up and try to work on rifle hunting instead. But I love archery hunting, and you know, you make mistakes. And like I said, I've harvested 9 elk with my bow, so it's not that I'm not capable of it, but as good as you think you get, you know, things go wrong. That being said, I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to work through some of this stuff, and I'll be back out there next year during archery season, and I'm going to keep filming hunts and filming fishing, and keep doing what I love doing, and come back to the reality of why I'm out there. You know, I'm not out there, you know, because I just decided one day, hey, I'm going to be a hunter and go film hunts. That's not the way it worked. It's years of hunting. I started hunting when my dad started taking me when I was 6 or 8 years old even, and duck hunts and all that stuff. And I've always loved being out there. And not successful every time I've gone by any means, and you go for the enjoyment of the experience. And I know everybody's saying that. Oh, it's the experience. It is absolutely the truth. For the camaraderie, for the enjoyment of the people you're with, for the enjoyment of God's country, you know, getting close to the animals. And then when you do harvest an animal, it's like the icing on the cake. It's the top, you know. And to get that on film would be the ultimate thing, is what we're all trying to do. All of us that are out here filming. So anyway, again, like I said, I appreciate you watching, appreciate subscriptions, appreciate the likes, the comments, and thanks for sticking by us.